Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Wednesday, the 27th of January. Hi, I'm Paul and I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we have cricket news bringing up to speed with the Pakistan versus South Africa test match. Also, some news about the broadcasting of Super Smash. There's been NBA action, but not for the Pelicans, and NBL action as well. We'll bring you up to speed with the A-League over in Australia. And also with some skiing news, as two Kiwis have been taking place in the giant slalom over in Europe. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And yes, over Alice Robinson was in action over in the FIS World Cup giant slalom in Italy, where she came ninth overall. In the first run, she had a good top section, but then had a little problem with the compression and lost time in the second half of the run, which meant that she was 10th overall after the first run. But in the second run, she put in one of the fastest, one of the faster times of the entire race. But combining the two together, she finished ninth overall. That's her second top 10 finish recently. That's and shows that she's starting to come back into form, which is good news because the next race will be at the World Championships in Cortina in Italy on the 8th to the 21st of February. Also in action was Pia Hudson, and in bib 33. Unfortunately, she got late in the gate, and it was a DNF, or did not finish. Tessa Worley of France took the overall win for her first World Cup giant slalom win of the season. Laura Gut-Birim of Switzerland was second, and Marta Bassio of Italy third, who's having a good start to the season. Over then in the NBA, and the Pelicans game against the San Antonio Spurs was called off due to COVID protocols. Neither team could put the 8 players together due to close contact tracing. Unfortunately, both teams had been in contact with a non-playing person as part of their travel who had COVID. So hopefully no one has caught it and everyone is okay, but that game has been postponed. That's the second game that's been postponed for the Pelicans, who are having a tough time of it this season, having lost 8 of their last 9 games. Really need some better news, really. In other NBA action, the Lakers beat the Cavaliers 115-108, with LeBron James really leading the Lakers there with 46 points, the oldest player to get over 40 since Kobe Bryant's final game in that one. With that 46 points was a one-man show scoring-wise, but Anthony Davis put in 10 rebounds and 17 points for a double-double. For the Cavaliers, Andre Drummond scored 25 points and 17 rebounds for his double-double as well, but it was not enough there. Other key results from yesterday. So the Celtics beat the Bulls 119-103, which allowed them to close the gap on the 76ers, who lost to the Pistons 119-104 at the top of the Eastern Conference. The Pacers also beat the Raptors 129-114, allowing them to keep pressure on there. So that means the 76ers now have a 2-game lead over the Celtics, Bucks, and Pacers in the Eastern Conference. Over on the Western side, the Lakers are just 1 game ahead of the Clippers, and another one ahead of the Jazz, with the Nuggets closing in on that top 3 there. So tight in the NBA. Staying with basketball and over in the the NBL over in Australia, the Bullets took on the Kings yesterday, with the Bullets taking it out 90-87 in that one. Leading the way for the Bullets were Vic Law with 27 points and Nathan Sobey with 26 points in that one for the Kings. Jarell Martin also got a double-double with 11 rebounds and 26 points, but just wasn't supported. Didn't get enough from the other players there in that one. That means that in the table, the Bullets have moved up to 6th place with 1 win and 2 losses from their 3 games so far. The Breakers are going to be back in action today for their second game of the season up against the 36ers at 9:30 p.m. The 36ers currently have 2 wins and 2 losses from their 4 games. The Breakers have just played 1 and lost that game. The Breakers will be without Dan Trist. Unfortunately, Dan got permission from the team to meet a family member. Unfortunately, then they found out that because the family member had been from a different part of Australia, that he wasn't allowed to. He's now considered to have had a close contact from there, which means that he has to miss the next couple of games. So yes, a bit of a procedural issue there for the Breakers, and hopefully they will hopefully Dan hasn't got COVID and will be okay. He hasn't been in contact with anyone who's tested positive, just someone who's come from a restricted zone. So hopefully hopefully that'll all, he'll be able to join the team soon. Moving on then to the cricket, and in the Super Smash, initially the Spark Sport was supposed to broadcast all of the Super Smash games, but in the end they're getting through only 52 of the 64 fixtures, so 12 fixtures have been missed. This is because of clashes, they said, with the test matches. And because the schedule just kept on changing. Apparently there were 55 versions of the schedule in the end, and that Spark Sports couldn't cover all the games. So from next season, though, the plan is to cover all of the men's and women's games in the Super Smash. Even so, just being 12 games down is better than the previous year, where 41 of 64 games were screened, so 23 games down. So it's an improvement, it's a step up, but still not where we would like the game to be. So that, those games that the Spark Sport have shown have included ones on free to air and also Duke, as well as being on the paid platform as well. Talking of Super Smash, I will be at the in Hamilton for the games this Friday between the Northern Knights and Auckland Aces and the Northern Spirit and Auckland Hearts. So don't forget to keep an eye out for that here on New Zealand Sports Radio coverage and post-game interviews from that. We also had a test match between South Africa and Pakistan. South Africa went in to bat first. This is the first time since 2009, I think it is, that South Africa have played in Pakistan due to the bombing that happened there next to one of the team coaches a while back. The Dean Elgar top scored for South Africa with 58 runs as they were all bowled out for 220 in that first innings. They're really saved by George Lill and Kagiso Rabada helping the tail to wag there with 35 and 21 runs not out respectively. The wickets were shared around the bowlers with Yasir Shah with 3 wickets for 54 runs being the top wicket taker. Pakistan, in reply to that, really are in trouble at 33 for 4. None of their batsmen have managed to get into double figures yet. Yes, 34 for 4. To Kagiso Rabada, has got 2 wickets to back up his good batting performance as well. So clearly he is having a good test match there. Other wickets have been shared around. But yes, Pakistan in trouble. Chase trying to chasing down that 220 first innings total by South Africa. That's just the first day, so I think we can be sure there'll be a result in Karachi for this one. Don't forget that join us on Monday at 8 p.m. for Swinging from the Hip, where we'll bring you all the news of that Test match and how it's gone. Also, there's been one-day international action with Afghanistan beating Ireland in the third one-day international to win that series 3-0 there. Afghanistan posted 266 for 9 off their 50 overs, and Ireland only were all bowled out for 230 with just under 3 overs left to go. So good series win there for Afghanistan. Again, Paul Stirling, the main man for Ireland, with 118 off 119 balls, but that wasn't enough, as the next top score was just 24 from his teammates. Rashid Khan taking 4 wickets there for Afghanistan. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. I'll be back here at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So don't forget to join me here on New Zealand Sports Radio, be that Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Or if you prefer, you can listen to the podcast on the go. Just search for New Zealand Sports Radio on your favorite podcatcher, be that Apple Podcasts, not Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all your favorite podcatchers. Have a wonderful day, folks, and see you tomorrow.